Hey guys, welcome. It's your girl, Black Girl Minimalism. I'm doing this read for the second time today, but this one is going to be like a money management read, and we're going to start out with that and then go into the flow of reading the cards. But I wanted to talk about an interview that I was watching with this particular, he's an author and also lifestyle and money practice guru by the name of Ken Honda. And so he was talking about the flow of money and how to understand it. And he gave 3 points of which we want to see money. So we see money but from a point of ice, water, and air. Ice, when you think about it, is to match, or to look at how fear and aligning fear to how it can become frozen. So if you think about money, money become frozen. When it becomes frozen, it doesn't move. When you think about air and in the concept of money, is we know it exists, but it doesn't. We don't pay much attention to it. So if you look at money in a flow of air, it's always effervescent. It's always moving in and out of things, and you're really not thinking about it. So if you don't spend much time thinking about it, it will always just be flowing to you. And then water is just like the flow of it, the natural flow of it coming and being useful in the ways that you see it useful in your life. And so what you want to think about is how to generate happy money. And so I'm always been fascinated with the concept of money, first being raised by an accountant. And I didn't always love the idea that my dad was an accountant because of the way that he instilled money and this very strict nature of understanding it, wanting to have it, that, the barrier of it being of how much you need it for us to exist. But we do live in a society of needing money to create a lifestyle. And I'm going to go on to the later part of this read where he talked about the concept of moving away from the idea of having money as our main source of living and moving into the generating idea and flow of AI and the construct of being developed in a way of technology where we'll be assigned a certain amount of money so that we don't have to spend so much time worrying about how to exist, where most of our concepts of living will come from creativity, the flow of hobbies, and nature of having this stipend per se of living. And if you wanted to equate more flow of money, you will just work more or attain the opportunity of building more hours in a particular job or role that where you could equate more funds. But the flow of money would change because we're going to get to a place in life where we would develop to a crisis that money would have to be rearranged in the concept of changing the construct of money being needed. When we think about it, we started with the barter system. We exchanged nuts for salt or rice or things like that. We removed from the barter system. And then when that became too restricted, we moved to the concept of money. Same way we are now, we're going to a flow in the space of life as it pertains to the financial development where money is reaching such a high need for it that we are going to have to move away from the construct that was developed initially for us. So he then talked about the concept of wealth and money growth and money being equated to self-worth. So if you have a high self-worth, then that means you're going to have a higher flow of being able to bring in money and how it comes to you. You need to cut your limiting beliefs, look at money as an angel rather than a devil and what it does for you. So if you look at money in the concept of being an angel, it's doing good things with money. Don't worry about money, it will come. And when you think about it, think about a plant. When you take a plant, a living thing, just as money is a living thing, and you water it, it continues to grow. The same way that you do with money. If you water the idea of how you see it, it will continue to grow. So he talked about a wealthy man that he was friends with. This man owned two public companies, still not feeling wealthy. And he asked him, "What? Like you own two companies that are public, and you still don't feel wealthy?" And the point of why he didn't feel wealthy was that he felt like he wasn't wealthy because he didn't own a private jet. And this brings us to the concept: is what is your definition of wealth? And so, with that being said, we want to learn from happy people how to generate more funds. If you don't already know what a public company is a public company is whose ownership is distributed among general shareholders through shares of stock that are freely traded on public exchange or over-the-counter markets. Anyone who can buy or sell and own a stake in your company or your business. In the U.S., public companies are reporting companies that must register with or submit ongoing disclosures to the Securities and Exchange Commission. So this is also generated and known as the SEC. So I just wanted to give that background of how you see or what you understand a public ownership of a company may look like. So I thought these things were interesting in the flow of money and how you understand it, and how money is the flow and the connection to freedom. And I think I talk about this to Erin all the time. So I hope this was helpful. This will be, if you guys enjoy this level of content, I will continue to put this out there. But we'll go into the read. So we're going to start with the Real Talk Tarot deck. Erin's looking at me like in this weird way. We'll talk about this off camera, movie.
I thought you were going to go into an IPO.
No. Okay. So the first card that we have coming up is the Sun. So this is the energy that you're moving into. You're moving into a more happier energy where you're building more community. We then have the Queen of Pentacles. This is someone who understands money very well. She is also taking time to spend time in nature and maybe enjoy the time that she has. We have the Judgment card. So there's a element of sitting still that's coming forward. We have the Justice card. So the justice and the judgment together definitely gives me some sort of decision. But we also have the Nine of Pentacles, the celebration that's coming forward. The next things that come forward for us is the King of Swords as well as the King of Wands. So you're definitely in a regal, royal energy as of now. So you have the King of Swords, which has to do with somebody in leadership. The King of Wands still in leadership, but in leadership of self. You have the Nine of Pentacles where you're celebrating something here as well, maybe celebrating self. You have the Ten of Cups energy. You have the Seven of Wands where you be saying no to things, maybe saying no to things that you don't feel comfortable with. We have the Six of Wands. This talks about being on public display. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have the Ace of Swords. And the Empress. There's a bullseye on something. This is the what's facing up is protecting your assets. So this is definitely a financial read, and we're setting the motion of this moving forward. Now I did want to read the Ten of Cups because I pulled this the other day, but I'm not sure if I read it. So the Ten of Cups says the Brady Bunch card, one of the most positive cards of the minor arcana. So I'll put it up to the screen. So the Ten of Cups is like someone who's sitting around with their friends or having some sort of bonfire. So the benefits of love and security of family, happiness for couples, families of equivalent close friends. In work, there's harmony for business, partnerships, and other networks. Relationships are in a positive emotional time. Communication between family members will become more fulfilling. If searching for a new home, you will find the right property in the right location for your needs. Be assured that what you have worked hard for will finally form. Financially, there's well-deserved prosperity. So I hope that you guys receive this message. I love you so much, and I will see you maybe later or tomorrow. I love you. Bye.